Hey Sarah,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's school going this year?
It's good. Busy, but good.
Yeah, I remember last month you saying that it kind of felt like the first time post-COVID that it
Yeah.
kind of felt more normal.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot normal. So that's good.
That is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years have you been at Woodstock Academy?
23.
No way.
Yeah, I started when I was 22.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So I've seen it all up there. I really have seen it all. But yeah. How was your weekend? Didn't you guys have friends or traveled or did something
Yeah, we were up in Vermont.
fun?
Yeah, yeah. My husband's family, his mom and his one brother have summer cottages up there. Um,
Good.
yeah, yeah. So we go up and then close up for the season, and this time of year is always beautiful up
I
there.
know. Did
How
you
about
have
you? You
Has
going to
it been
Philadelphia?
warm? Because it was warm here on that Sunday when we did the walk. It was like beautiful weather. Was it warm up there or
Yeah.
no?
Yes.
Okay, good.
How did that go?
There was 8 people on Sunday,
Wow.
and then a tree fell in the middle of the talk.
I saw that in John's email about the poplar.
Yep. So we were over by where the white oak used to be, and then all
Okay.
of a sudden we hear you hear the tree, and we just watched it, and it thankfully fell the right. We were nowhere near it, but it fell into like the brush. So it didn't like disrupt any path or anything that we've done. But I was like,
Okay.
that's scary. It just went,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I was wondering with John also saying about Saturday, if that would be, does that tree need to be cut up or?
I don't think so. I think because the way it fell, it's not in the
Okay.
way, but
Okay.
I don't know who owns, if it's on the other person's property. I think it's a Beckwith property back there. I don't know if they even care because it's all like brush. It's not like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that made the day interesting.
You saw
Sounds
it
like it.
fall?
Hmm?
You saw the tree fall?
Yeah, we were down there. We were by the White Oak giving a tour of 8 people.
Was it a
And
numbered
then
tree?
what? I'm sorry.
Was it one of our numbered trees?
Yeah, it's
Which one?
already dead. It was already dead.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
the trunk, the part of the trunk that was still up just fell, and it fell the right way. But still, we were staying there. It's like, huh? In like 20 minutes, we would have been there.
oh. Oh
Oh.
no. Oh
It just
no.
added some spice to the event.
Yeah. And we didn't have to pay to have it taken down.
Nope.
There you go. Take that off of the long range plan.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey Sandra, how was your trip to Florida?
Well, I just got back late last night, and it's a mess down there. They live in
Really?
Seminole right outside of Tampa. The beach area where they are, they're not an evacuation zone, but lots of tree limbs down, lots of like fence damage, some house damage. But you go down a little bit towards the shore, they hadn't opened up yet. I mean, people are emptying out their houses. It's a mess.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, I mean and they dodged the worst of it because it wobbled and went a little further south. So I don't know what the south looks like, but I was surprised. What surprised me is I was there for 5 days, and in the time I was there, how hard they worked to clean everything up and get everything moving and all that. So no, Tom was supposed to go with me. We were both supposed to be gone, but our Airbnb didn't have electricity until the night before I flew. So they actually reimbursed us. They couldn't
Hmm.
take us because they just when we were deciding 2 days before, they still hadn't had power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my son has power because he lives on one side of the street, and right at the end is a fire department. The other side of the street belongs to another section, and they were almost 10 days later to get power. Yeah,
Wow.
so they were helping out all the neighbors across the street, you know, like he didn't need his generator, he brought it over to somebody else, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bring them water and whatever they needed.
Did he extend the extension cord across the road?
I don't know what he, no, he did that.
Right. But what do you mean? Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, glad your travels were safe and they're okay.
yeah, I'm hoping to be at BBD tomorrow. So if I can
Okay.
get myself there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sarah, I think this might be everybody because Philip is away. John said he was going to be at the polls until 6. And Kristen, we changed our meeting date. She's planning to join us in November.
John was definitely at the polls because I early voted today, and he
Did
was
you?
there.
No, I
He
didn't
checked
realize
me in.
today. I've never done that early voting thing.
Me either. It's sort of a letdown because it's not election day, and you just
Yeah.
it was easy and it was like fine.
So I
And the
have a
only
question. Do they actually count those votes prior, and does
they
that
can't
information get out? They good. I was hoping they couldn't.
because they're afraid that all of a sudden if
So,
some candidate's ahead, then it won't like make it. So, but you have to. So you get your they check you in and do whatever, and then you get your ballot, and then you have to sign your ballot, and then they scan it that they have your ballot, so you can't obviously vote again. And then it just goes into a thing.
oh,
I guess
interesting.
it's been busy. That's what I saw Jessica Boos, and she said it's been busy. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another day for it too, right? Or
Oh,
was
I'm
it
not,
just today for early voting?
no, it's
no.
been all week. I think it's all
Yeah.
week.
Oh, like this week?
Hmm.
So I could go tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it opens at
Yeah.
10.
I think it's a
Oh,
long time, the early voting,
Oh, is
that
it?
they're making that available to folk
I
to,
think great. I love that.
Hmm.
I think I
yeah,
might do that tomorrow then. I've never done it.
yeah. Well, hopefully it'll get people to vote or
Yep,
more encourage more people to vote.
Yeah,
exactly.
Have they done it before this year?
I've never seen it.
There
This
was
is the
a,
first time in
yeah,
Connecticut for this big of election. They did it a little bit for the primary. Hey, animals, calm down over there. But I think this is the first time, like at this scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about, Denise, since it's only us here?
well, Sarah's running the meeting. Um,
Okay.
so I'm going to take the minutes. I mean, I
Mhm.
think just a general, whatever, Sarah, go ahead.
Yep, I'm just pulling. Let me pull. I was looking for the agenda.
Yeah.
Everything gets buried in my. There you are. You get buried. Everyone gets buried in my email. Okay, so we do need a motion to. I'm sorry, I run a Teague meeting and we do Robin's rules. Do we take them? Do we do motions to accept the minutes here or no?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hello everybody. No guests. Can I take a motion to accept the September minutes?
Yes. I move that we
Motion to
accept them.
Okay. Is there a
I
second?
second the motion.
Perfect. All those in favor?
I,
Right.
Any abstentions? Any nays? Okay. Treasury's report, which I think John sent when he sent out that he couldn't come. Is that correct?
yeah, he said that we only had one bill for
Yep.
477 from Better View Landscaping since last
There it
month.
is. Yep. So I think that's it in terms of I didn't see anything. But yeah, I don't think there's anything we have to do with that as far as I can tell.
No.
And then so now I lost your email. Let me go back. La, la, la. So the next thing is the review of tours and work progress. Well, I was there on Sunday, and then we had 8 people, and it was a beautiful day. And now John led the tour because he felt like he could walk, and I took notes about timing. So I know I move fast. Like I'm a fast walker, I'm a fast talker. And I was worried that if I wanted him to do it first, so I could time out where he was at every tree. So now I feel like I could do it because now with the notes, he did say that there was some disputes on what was in the notes that we
There
have.
are.
But I
So
don't know how Saturday went.
so I did the 2 weekends before.
Okay.
And so I did these notes because easy to read, easy to see, and then we were missing some numbers. But as I was reading through everything, I was Googling the Latin name just to make sure. And so there was discrepancies on the Latin name. Tom spent some time trying to get that. And then we do have to look at the manifest of the original trees or whatever's been bought to make sure we are in alignment.
Okay.
Because like for the Devil's Club, there's a southern one, which wouldn't even grow here, and then a northern one. So the Latin name was for the southern one, but the story was about the northern one. So there was a discrepancy between that sort of thing. The witch hazel, the story was about the native witch hazel, which we don't have, not the Chinese witch hazel.
Okay.
So, so there was a lot of discrepancies. And I thought, I talked to Denise about it. I thought maybe over the winter we should take some time and make sure we know exactly what tree we have, what's the Latin, and what's the story.
Okay.
And because I got into the privet, the Chinese privet, and the first day he's talked about the medicinal qualities, and we had several questions about the berries. So I said to John, I'll look that up for tomorrow in case we get that question again, because all the berries, the blueberries on it. Well, the Chinese privet is highly poisonous. As a matter of fact, will kill you. So I said, I don't know if the leaves are medicinal or not. I couldn't find anything on that. So I took that all out. And I figured I'll wait and find out, what, because I'm going off the Latin name, not the common name. So I'm not sure if somebody just researched privet and got story and rewrote it. I'm not sure where they came from. So we wanted to talk to Philippa about it a little bit to see where they originated, who did it. But stories like that were a little disconcerting. And then we were missing a lot of trees. We were going through and I was seeing plaques as we were walking because I've never done it either. Yeah. And there were trees with plaques that we didn't have. Not that you have to say anything about them. You can skip over it if if you want to. But I think any tree that has a plaque or tree we have should be in the manifest. But that's just my, something I think we just need to talk about as a group. So that's what I found, Tom.
Yeah, so she asked me to look it over, and I spent some time over the weekend while she's in Alleygagging in Florida. And
with a toddler and a 4-year-old.
And she was like working hard. Anyway, so I found things like, these poplar. It says poplar, and it is a common name for the Latin name for the cottonwood. But I think all the stories were about other poplars and talking about the goodness of the wood and the kind of wood it was. And it's like, and the Romans, and say, well, wait a minute, the Romans aren't using the American cottonwood tree.
Yeah.
And so there is a white poplar, which is probably what the Romans were using. And they also talked about other kinds of wood, which, for lumbering, and that is actually the yellow poplar, which is actually the tulip tree. So there's a lot of poplar is kind of a weird word. You can't necessarily use that as you got to define some of these a little better. So I haven't gone through the manifest like she was talking about. That needs to be done, and looking at all the original documents of what trees were actually there, and hopefully they used Latin names and not common names. So
we found a lot of discrepancies in that walking tour. So, for us, we'd love to spend the winter and get that all buttoned up and get the right tree for the right thing and just walk it again, make sure like tulip tree's not even on it, make sure we have every tree on the property is at least accounted for with a story, whether you use it or don't use it. That's fine when you're doing a tour. You can highlight with a little star which ones you want to talk about that have great stories. I don't think talking about 40 trees is a lot.
Yeah.
You might want to just pick out some of the really interesting stories.
And each person that
Yeah.
does work can do the ones that they feel most attached to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But it's nice when you have them all listed, and then when there's going to be times when people are just going to do self-guided tour. In fact, I went on Saturday, and I emailed John, and he didn't see my email, so he didn't know I was coming. So he ended up doing a tour and with some people, and other people came, and I had never done the tour at all. So I said, and John had printed out these copies, in plastic binders.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, have at it. They were glad. Some of them were like, they didn't want to go do a tour, but they were glad to be able to just walk around at their own pace and
just to interrupt you, there were self-guided tours in that little house.
Oh,
but we took them out because when Philippa renumbered all the trees, nothing corresponded. So when we were there that first day, we realized same thing as you had, that they were still there, and people go, this is useless. So I took them all.
Yeah.
I figured we would then update all of that. So yeah, that's all part of it. So it was a learning experience for us that never did tours before. We had about, Sarah, same as you, it seems like 8 to 10 people each time.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were very, very interested.
So do you think that it made a difference? I know it was done in conjunction with the Quiet Corner Garden Club was doing something in the Historical Society building. Do you think that helped with turnout? Because I know other times there have been Last Green Valley tours and nobody comes. But this time it seems like there were decent groups every time.
There for the Walktober for that Arboretum.
Okay, that's awesome.
For the garden, the garden thing was separate, which was nice. The only thing, and Sarah, maybe you had this, is that we should put one tour at one tour at two. When people started coming at different times, it was hard to go with a group, and then other people were coming in kind of haphazardly through the whole thing. I don't know if you
we didn't have that. Everyone was there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was good to go. So
we did on Sunday. It was good because we only did 1 hour, which is about how long it takes to do a tour. So everybody was there right at the time. But the 2 hour, people kind of dropped in.
Yeah, because that makes sense to me. I mean, because it's a 2 hour window. They don't necessarily know that it doesn't say explicitly a tour this time and a tour this time.
But anyway, those are minute details.
Yep.
No, I think that's all important. I think that's a good winter project, like where you can just dabble on it. It's not like it doesn't, and we can figure out how to make it better. Particularly if we want people to go down there, then we have to make sure our information is correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Going down there and telling people the wrong information about trees. Yay.
Yeah, especially if somebody says, oh, medicinal, and they try it and they end up in the ER,
Let's not do that.
That's my big thing, Somebody says, oh, are the berries edible then? And I went, no, we don't know anything about the berries, don't eat them. So that's why I came home right away and researched it. Some people will do that. And so, I want to make sure. And then the other thing that I found, Sarah and Denise, which was interesting. So I'm doing the research, and the word Arnold Arboretum kept coming up in the information Philippa had. So it came up twice, and then when I did the privet, it came up that the seeds for the ornamental one that we have came out of the Arnold Arboretum in 1914, which places it about the same time as our people. So I would assume that might have been where we got it. So then I kind of did a research for the Arnold Arboretum. And wouldn't you know, there's a botanist there with the last name Palmer around the same time. But he was from Missouri. So I did my little genealogy thing, but I don't know if they're related yet. They could be cousins. So my feeling is that she was up in Boston. The Arnold Arboretum was a big deal then. And so she obviously was talking to somebody there. So when I was doing the research, I thought, wouldn't it be great maybe to partner with the Arnold Arboretum and say, look, we have some of your original trees here still. Do you actually have the original manifest? Do you actually have any information? And maybe they could help us select trees for the future as well. You know, maybe a partnership would be interesting. I don't know. It was just the thought I had as I was doing the research.
No, I think that's great too.
Yeah, so I don't know. The fellow whose last name is Palmer was working with the Arboretum, but then came on staff in 1921, which was 6 years after, but he was working with them from Missouri prior to that time. So as I said, I don't know if there's any relationship. Could be a cousin. I don't know. Could be nothing. Palmer's a very common name. But I just thought it was a kind of a coincidental thing.
Okay. I think we had the best turnout in terms of numbers that we've had in a long time. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that we're done, right? There's no more. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
Not-
In terms of work projects, I'm taking the group of Academy kids down in November. Was the email about Pomfret kids coming? Was that correct?
Yeah, John said that it was this Saturday,
Okay.
um, for an hour and a half, and he said that he could be there to direct.
Okay.
Um, but was wondering, he had like raking and general cleanup and didn't know if people had other thoughts about what could be done.
Well, there was that one tree that was, I didn't get down there. I don't know when we talked about that, but we talked about there's one tree slash shrub that fell over. Yeah, and it just seemed like it needed to be removed. And
But there you won't get to it to this week.
no, no. But you were
Is
talking
that,
about,
Tom, is that like right when you go in kind of down to the right, or where is it
yes,
located?
well, you go in on the north entrance.
It's right across from the big beach.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The hill from the beach on the other side of
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that reminds me, can you put this in the note? The tree of heaven we have to make it, we should make it as a committee, make a decision. John and I were talking about it. It is first of all, an invasive tree, which is, you know, we have a couple of them, which I think we should discuss. But one of the things about that is it hosts the lanternfly, and it's starting to move north. It's already in southern Connecticut, and it's as a host, it would they host it. That's where they reproduce, but they eat the orchards. And I can't, if we have that there, I don't think we're being good partners with our Woodstock orchards and the orchards in the neighborhood, because it, to me, it would be a horrible situation. So I talked to John about it a little bit. I think we need to remove it.
Okay.
So
Sandra, what's the name of the tree again?
the tree of heaven.
Tree of Heaven. Okay.
Yeah, it's host to the spotted lanternfly, which decimates orchards.
Okay. I put
So
that in the notes.
yeah, I think we need to make a decision. They're not here yet, so we're not, you know, we're not culpable for anything yet, but with the warm falls and everything we're having, I'm a little concerned. So, you know, it's just something we need to discuss.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Anything else about the Walktober?
It was great to see people come and be really interested.
Totally agree.
Tom, I'll be happy to email John and just to mention that tree
Yeah, he
across
knows.
from the old beach that needs to be removed if that's something they feel they can do on Saturday morning.
Oh, the
Okay.
viburnum.
Viburnum.
They need a chainsaw.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell them. I
It
mean,
was,
maybe it's beyond their comfort zone, but
Right.
So what are you thinking of? So just general cleanup? Because I was thinking they could pull all that burning bush out of the swamp, but do they know how to identify it?
They should be all pink right now.
Yeah, they would be red,
Red,
burning red.
pink, yeah.
um, I don't
I mean,
know.
I can, when is it on Saturday?
I think it's 9:15, or let me look.
Because I could go down too and maybe take some kids in the swamp and pull. I'd love to get the wineberry, but they're I wouldn't put that with kids. That stuff is like lethal to touch.
yeah.
It's 9:15 to 10:45.
On Saturday,
Yeah.
I can be there.
Okay.
Let me just put on the calendar. 9:45.
9:15. 9:15 to 10:45.
Okay. Sarah, are you going to be there then, or
I'm going away this weekend. I'm going to Philadelphia.
so who else will be there?
I think that's it. We actually have a grandson has a soccer game and a birthday party
So
on
who's
Saturday.
gonna know who's working?
John, John.
John's working with who though?
The woman's name, I think you were included on the email, but
Oh,
from
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Profits School is Erin.
So 9:15. So when do the kids come though?
9:15.
Oh, so that is the kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, John did say he added you to the string.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked.
Okay. But her name is Erin Fisher
Okay.
from Pomfret School.
Okay. Yeah, I can be there and I don't have any problems with if the kids want to do some heavy pulling. We can pull some of that stuff out.
Yeah, that would be great. Those are
Okay. Um, Next is the long-term plan development. I'm not gonna lie, this meeting stuck up with me, so my plan is to do it on the train. And then I can email it to you when I get to Wi-Fi. And then we can all look at it. But that's my plan to do it this Friday on my train ride down to Philly, because I'll be all by myself, so nothing else to do.
oh, you're in
That's my
big.
plan. Because I was gonna do it last week. It just stuck up on me.
Oh boy.
Poor time management.
We understand. I have so many things that sneak up on me.
Yeah. My other thing though is now that we're moving the meeting, I won't be here. I'm traveling with students on the first, it's the first Tuesday now, correct? First Wednesday?
Right.
Yeah, so I will not be at the first meeting in November. So
Okay.
you can't use my Zoom account because I won't be here. So you just have to use free Zoom. So someone has to send out the link and you only can meet for 45 minutes. That's all.
Right. Okay. Okay. I can take care of doing that.
And then after that, I'll send out a new link that we can just use the same one. I think it's for like 8 meetings. That way you don't have to worry about it. But I won't be here at the first meeting, but I will send out what I have for the long-term plan on Saturday morning when I get back to Wi-Fi. And that's everything on the agenda. We talked about the walkabout guide and brochure. I failed at the long-term planning. We talked about everything else. That's it.
Good.
And then, our next meeting is Wednesday, November 6th at
Great.
6 o'clock on Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I
so
don't
that's
have
just
it on
a
my
couple of weeks away. Yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, so then that will be great. Then we can talk about the long-term plan then.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, safe travels to Philadelphia. Are you going down there
Thanks.
first?
I'm going to my university's homecoming.
Oh,
I haven't
great.
been back there since 2000, maybe 15. So
Wow.
all me and a bunch of my college friends were going down there. So yeah, a
Oh,
fun trip.
fun. Have a good
Yeah,
time.
it should be
Yeah.
fun.
What school did you go to, Sarah?
I went to the University of Delaware.
Oh, you did. My husband went to the University of Delaware too. I mean, probably 20 years prior to you, but fighting
Yeah.
blue hens.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to go down. I mean, last time I was there, it looked so different that I mean, they build and build and build and build. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see everybody. I don't make it down there. Now, the older I get, the harder it is for me just to go for a weekend. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
nah. So it was a good excuse for me to go down there. So
How,
Well, have
and
a
it's
great
like a
trip.
7 hour train ride
it's
down?
4 hours by the train. I get on Old
Oh, just
Saybrook.
4 hours. That's
Yep,
it.
just four. Four to Philly because all the friends I'm staying with live in Jersey just over the river. So I'll go into Philly, spend the night Jersey. We'll go to Delaware and then I'll come back up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great trip.
Thank you.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I
And
will.
good to see you back, Sandra.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to be there tomorrow, but if I'm not, I'm sleeping in.
Okay.
Still
Ditto.
recovering from a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old.
I
Whew.
can't imagine. You must be exhausted.
Oh, the little one, the 1-year-old is a walking, uh, ready to kill himself. So you just have to be like on him all the time. He's climbing and, doing all of that stuff all right now. And it's like, you can't even blink. And he's up and doing something.
Wow.
Yeah, he's crazy. And then the other one, the 4-year-old is, how many times can you play Go Fish? And and oh, it was her fourth birthday, so we had an Elsa birthday. So I watched Frozen. We had Frozen everything. So
Yeah.
That
that was
actually
my
sounds like terrible.
Exhausting. It sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
It was. And my daughter-in-law, my son, they were so glad I'm there that they just went.
Oh,
They went out for the night, one night with their friends, which they never get to do.
Sure.
And just even when I was there, just took the opportunity. They set up to get their wills done, get their to the dentist, I mean, they had all the stuff you can't do with kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was good, but it was
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good to see you back. Thank you for sharing tonight, Sarah, and safe
Sure.
travels.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
And have a
bye.
good November meeting. Have a good night, everybody.
You
Yep.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.